Hey everybody, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. Today's an interesting video. The first thing I want to say is that I had some technical issues. I had some problems with lighting. There was some background noise that I wasn't aware of while I was taping. So I tried to edit out that annoyance as much as I can. I was using a product that had several lids that when you open and close it would click, 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 which was really super annoying. So I tried to edit those out. Also, my dog, it was in the background eating and drinking water, and he's walking around, and there was a lot of background sort of disturbance. So like I said, I tried to edit out as much as I could without editing out what I was talking about. So just a little disclaimer and apologies in advance. The other thing, and here's the thing about this particular video, is I just was being extremely brutally honest about things I have observed with beauty influencers, both on the positive and the negative side, and a little bit of a gripe perhaps about the lack of integrity thereof, and just speaking to that, and how just as human beings, when we are seeking to better ourselves, feel better, look better, and improve ourselves, how we are so easily influenced by the opinion of people that we would see on YouTube or on commercials or whatever. And we're being sold things based on the opinion, which is always subjective, of another human being. And that's not a bad thing in itself. It's whether or not the influencer is being honest and having integrity to influence the public and to grow a large subscription following and, you know, affiliates and collaborations and things, is a fabulous endeavor. But when it isn't done with integrity, I have a big problem with liars, and I have a problem with greed, and I have a problem with the lack of integrity when it comes to other people's money and other people's emotions. So, based on some things I've observed on YouTube in the last several weeks, and especially over the last couple days, I just took some note of things, and I want to discuss those things, okay? If you're interested in hearing what I have observed and what I think about those things. The other thing is I'm testing some product that I've had for a while, and it was probably one of my more critical videos, and it wasn't because I'm not honest about when I test other things. It was more that I was very disappointed in the outcome of the products, and I started out with one of the products singing its praises, and within an hour or two that product failed, and I had to come back and say, I might be wrong about this. I'm not sure, but I might be wrong. And then another product that I am using as an example of the fact that I personally do not like it. I don't think it's a good product, and I wouldn't recommend it to somebody else, but I'm watching another influencer that I think is wonderful. I love her, and I take her recommendations quite frequently. She loves that particular product. It is the subjectivity. It's all very subjective. This cosmetics industry is based on beauty, which is subjective. And that's the part I want to drive home, is I'm using a product today that I know, but thumbs down. Somebody else is using it, and they're like, this is the most wonderful thing ever. Completely and utterly subjective. And how these things literally influence how we feel about ourselves, how we spend our money, things like this. If you can get past the technical issues with the lighting and the noise in the background, like right now there's some stuff going on in the basement. They just started to hammer, and maybe a little bit of my disjointed ramblings and opinions. Anyway, hopefully you'll enjoy the content And like I said, I'd love to hear from you and what you think about it. Hey everybody, it's Stephanie. Today is going to be a serious talk. A very serious talk. So, no, I'm serious. A serious talk. Having to do with the world of beauty influencers and the love of money, things like this. I have no idea why this popped into my head earlier. I'm like, I'm gonna have a talk about this. I want to, oh, I know why I was gonna do this, is because there is a product. You'll probably see it online. It's called Fiera, F-I-E-R-A. I happen to have their, quote, concealer, which is in this tube. I lost the cap quite a while ago, and I've used almost the whole tube. I ordered this online probably 3 years ago. So the first thing I am going to say is my channel is called Makeup for Old Ladies, which is very tongue-in-cheek, but there are a lot of beauty influencers. I mean, how many beauty influencers are on YouTube? I mean, who knows, right? And I know that I have been drawn to beauty influencers as I've started to age, like, you know, I mean, I think the first time I ever really saw a beauty influencer was, I think I was 51. I'm gonna be 60 in March. So I saw Angie from Hot and Flashy. I was researching IT Cosmetics. I saw, I think it was HSN or QVC, something on TV, and I saw this beautiful foundation, the IT Cosmetics CC cream, and I was very curious as to, is this real? Is this as good as they say? So I got online, started researching, and then I saw Angie from Hot and Flashy popped up. That is how I sort of became influenced in the YouTube world of beauty, because first of all, I'm very attracted to it. It's like, I love it. I love makeup. I've always loved makeup, even when I was young, and I could wear anything on my face and it always looked great. But having said that, I have tried and tested many foundation products, skincare products, and this little tube right here, I have nothing to gain by telling you this. This is absolutely the best concealer slash foundation I've ever used, ever. Right behind that is the IT Cosmetics CC cream. That is also excellent. I've used other things from this, you know, high end, low end that are good as well. But I am just here right now just to tell you straight up, this is the best. It's not mainstream. I really don't see, maybe I'm not looking, but I don't see a lot of talk about this particular product. But I wanted to talk about it today because I saw it pop up on a feed, and I'm almost out and I want to get a different shade. And I thought to myself, why am I not using that product more? Because it's so good. Well, because I'm testing everything else out under the sun. So today I want to talk to you about this product. It's on this tube, it says Celeste, but if you see it like being advertised on social media, it's Fiera. And like I said, I have their powder as well, which is really good. This is a very hydrating. It's got hyaluronic acid. I don't know what everything else. I can't even read the tube anymore. But it's extremely thick and creamy and just nourishing and amazing, and you only need a little bit. This is actually probably too much. So what I do is I warm it up in my fingers. I don't have on anything else on my face right now except moisturizer and my NYX Marshmallow Primer. I warm it up with my fingers, and then I put it on my skin and press it into my skin, basically like I would a moisturizer or something, because it is so thick that I found this is the best way for me to apply this foundation. So I'm telling you, as somebody on YouTube, that if you are looking for an excellent concealer / foundation, in my opinion, over the last few years since I've had this, this is absolutely the best as far as coverage, as far as skincare, as far as where it settles, how it settles. It's straight up excellent. I don't have I do not have any affiliation with this. I don't make money from this. I am here just to tell you it's really good. So if you're seeing it in your timeline on social media and you're intrigued by it, I highly recommend it. I actually saw it today, like buy 2 get 1 free or something like this. I actually saw it on Amazon for like $20. It's less expensive on Amazon. I think if you're buying it straight out, it's like maybe 30 something dollars. So it's more of a high end, but it's not as high end as the high end, right? I think it's worth the money. It'll last you forever because it's so stinking concentrated. I can't believe that it hasn't oxidized in the tube or done anything to where I can't use it anymore. Maybe it has, I don't know. The reason why I'm going on and on about this foundation is because I had a sudden revelation, and sometimes I'm a little naive because I don't think like a deceitful person. I'm not a liar or a deceitful person, and listen, I'm not trying to make myself sound like this perfect person, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to take a little bit more of this and put it under my eyes. I am not the type of person who would lie for money, okay? And people lie for money. They do. And I cannot, like right now, I'm not thinking in terms of, okay, who out there do you think is a liar for money in the beauty influencing world? Nobody in particular. I mean, there's a few things that come to mind just basically on, there's a little bit of beauty influencer drama that you see, but I'm not interested in that. I got over that, I think, when I graduated high school. But there is a culture, the beauty culture is it can be very manipulative, and let's face it, it can be fueled by greed, and I hate that. I'm really trying to be succinct, and I think I'm having a hard time doing it. I probably I can be succinct if I want to, but the problem is that when I get succinct, I might come across as being a little bit blunt or harsh or maybe even judgmental. I'm not trying to do that. I have noticed that we as consumers, like I know that I'm on YouTube. I have a very small channel. It's very new. It's not like my YouTube feed is going to pop up immediately in everybody's algorithm. I mean, it's new, okay? I need to change the subject for a second. So I put some of this under my eyes because I still have a little bit of discoloration, and this is so rich, I used too much. So I'm telling you, just only needed a little bit more, and I used too much. So it's kind of starting to gather a little because I used too much. So I'm just gonna pat it out. Okay. All right, why am I having this conversation? In the world's economy, there's no way you can get out of needing finances. You have to have it. So you either have a job or you create it yourself. You create wealth yourself using your gifts and your talents, and you develop those things. But whatever, we all need finances. This is a damp beauty sponge here. This is just a pharmacy damp beauty sponge. Money is not the problem. The love of it is the problem. And that's when it gets a little tricky, because the beauty industry is so influential and so marketed and geared in culture. Beauty and youth are so important in our culture that we will go on the hunt looking for what they would call it, maybe the holy grail, to find whatever can restore or maintain youth and beauty. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to be youthful, healthy, and maintain your beauty. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. The problem that I have is the beauty industry manipulating, human beings into believing that this product or that product or this, is going to fix it. Or if you give this product or that product or this doctor, or this esthetician your money, then you will be restored to youth and beauty and all of your problems will be solved. That's kind of an extreme way of putting it. I'm gonna change the subject really quick, because we're gonna talk today about the good, the bad, and the ugly about the beauty industry, beauty influencing. And so we started with the good. This is excellent. And now we're gonna move on to something I freaking hate. Okay, this is a Morphe stack. Let's see. I bought this about a year and a half ago. I think this was the first time I ever bought a Morphe product, but it's a stack, and this is oh so nude. So when you open the stack, you have this glittery concoction, looks like that. Then you have a cheek color, which is, it's okay. A gloss, which I like the gloss. I mean, you can see that I've actually used it. I like the gloss, and I need to put some on my lips right now because they're feeling a little parched. So the gloss is lovely. It's pretty. It's a little sticky, but it doesn't irritate my lips. Then there is this is very creamy. It's a highlighter. I think you can add it for a little shimmer on your lip. It's very pretty, but overall, I think this was like $8 or $9, if I remember correctly. When I first bought it, I thought, that's neat. It's really pretty. I used it a couple times, and then I just found the quality overall to be just subpar. The payout is subpar. This glittery thing will be all over your face. That was my experience. The blush, and I'm going to use it today. The blush looks pretty initially, but it disappears. I can't remember what my beef was with this, but for some reason I didn't like this either. Maybe it was irritating my lip. I don't remember. But anyway, overall, I'm just telling you, in my opinion, this is crap. Which brings me to the next topic. I was watching a beauty influencer the other day that I love her. She is awesome. she was talking about this, and it was fairly recent. I didn't even know that this was still available. I thought this was pulled from the shelf because I hadn't seen it for a while. But she was talking about this, and she loves it. And I was like, oh wow, she loves that. So, you know, makeup is so subjective. So when I talk to you about what I like, it's just my opinion, it's my experience, it's that's all. It's just my experience and my opinion. But I will tell you that I will never lie to you and say, oh, run out and buy this Morphe Oh So Nude stack. You will absolutely love it. It's only $8 and it's just the best thing ever. Meanwhile, you know, I'm gagging in the background. I will never, ever, ever do that. I hate that. Lies and dishonesty just disgust me. Was that succinct enough for you? All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I am going to set my foundation. It's very dewy and it's lovely. I'm loving it right now. I'm going to set it with the Fiera powder. This is the HD matte finishing powder that came. Well, it didn't come with it. I ordered it with it. I got with the foundation. Absolutely fantastic. When they say this is for mature skin, it is absolutely for mature skin. It's just an extremely good powder for mature skin. In my opinion, it works extremely well for my mature skin. I'm gonna have to leave because my sister wants to go somewhere and I want to spend time with her. So I'll finish this when I get back. I'm just gonna go ahead and set that. Lovely foundation, lovely powder, love it a lot. Super happy with this. That tube is almost empty. I will get more. I would wear this every single day. If it was the only foundation on the planet Earth, I would be fine with that. Okay, when I get back, I will finish my makeup and we'll continue this conversation. She's looking for her car keys, so I can hurry up and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the blush. I'm going to use this angled flat brush from Be As Small. And I'm going to just tap that in there. Like I said, this is going to go on really lovely. And I'll probably be gone for at least an hour. And we'll see how it holds up. Just tapping it. Love how it applies. Not super pigmented. Put a little over my nose. Obviously I'm not doing any contouring or anything, but you know, it's definitely not that liquid blush that we've been contending with for a couple days. So I've got a little bit on there. I've got to go, but I'll be back. Wow. Right here between my eyes is like the Euphrates River.
Stop.
It is, Donna.
It is not. It is not.
Ours is so dried and cracking right there. So, and my lip, gosh darn. This is when I have to be honest and bear it all. If I don't, then my integrity would be compromised.
What are you talking about?
Okay, I am back from my errand with my sister. And while I was out, I took some video showing how this makeup was setting. And after about an hour or so, right here, it was like my skin was absolutely, there was no moisture. Like my skin was just like, it was like SpongeBob when he would go on play dates with Sandy because he needs to be in the water. He would just be all shriveled. To me, it looked that bad. I got home and I was tempted to take off the makeup because it was just right here. It was a little, a little dryness under my eyes. And I thought, is it the powder, and around my lip? Like, what's going on here? And then I realized, I did prime. I did use some primer, but I'm physically dehydrated. I have not been drinking water like I need to drink water, which. Okay, we are backing up the bus right now. The problem with that unbelievable dry, sunken Sahara desert going on my face, in between my eyebrows and under my eyes, was because I was applying this Morphe blush all over my face, which is absolutely not anti-aging. It's not like this. Okay, problem solved. Maybe I was dehydrated. Maybe it was a lot of things. But I guarantee you, putting a cheap blush in problem areas between my eyebrows and under my eyes absolutely contributed to that hot mess, because I'd never seen that before. And thank God I discovered it, because I was very disappointed and like, welp, my favorite foundation's out the window. Okay, rant over. Problem solved, but rant over. Why? Is because I like to use certain products for certain things that aren't necessarily meant for that. I remember trying to use this creamy, shimmery thing. I remember putting it on my lids and it was very creasy. Now, I think this was probably intended to be maybe a highlighter, which I'm not really seeing a whole lot going on there. So I put it on my lids and it creased. Didn't like it. I didn't like the payout for the blush. The blush didn't last very long. So I will do a side-by-side of my blush right now versus when I first applied it before I left, and we can see how long it lasted. And then this sparkly stuff here, glittery stuff, again, what's it for? Is it for highlight? Is it for lips? Is it for, I don't know. I think you can use these any way you want. I just simply remember that the way that I purposed this, I didn't like the outcome, and I didn't like the lasting power of it. Today I'm going to use it again as part of my makeup routine to get reacquainted with it and see if I change my mind. I've done that before. I have to go back and remember where I stopped talking in terms of beauty influencers, because I was talking about the money element and the motives behind the beauty industry or influencers in general, and lately paying attention to when I watch beauty influencers, how powerful the impact that they can have, and that's not bad. It's like that's not a bad thing. That's absolutely not a bad thing. But I noticed, okay, while I'm talking, I'm going to try to put my makeup on, or this will go forever. I'm going to reapply my lip gloss. The other day, I saw a very popular influencer, and she did a video short talking about ditch these. These are out now. And she was talking about certain products, certain colors. She was being a professional influencer. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But what ran through my mind is, who is to say, ditch this color, ditch this product? They're out now. And, it's subjective. I was tempted to do sort of a collaboration short video and basically say, you do you, boo. If you want to use that blush, that color, that formula, that brand, you do it. You do it till the end of time. I didn't do it though, because she wasn't doing anything wrong. There was nothing about what she did that was dishonest or anything like that. She was just giving her opinion as, you know, a beauty influencer, and she's very good at it and she's successful at it. And it was a good quality video, and it's her opinion, and she should be able to express that. What caught my attention, I think, is the powerful influence of a young, beautiful woman telling a population of people watching these videos because they are looking for their own physical beauty improvement. It felt, what's the word? I'm being so brutally honest here. I'm speaking from my heart and from my observations and how I know that these things can seriously impact how people feel about themselves. And I think that beyond the makeup and the beauty, I think that that's probably what drives me more than anything else. And so it just struck me, I guess, is what I'm saying. I'm gonna use this palette on my cheeks and my eyes and my lips, obviously. I'm going to give this the same fighting chance as I would any other product by using my go-to concealer slash eye primer. I use this for primer because it's awesome on the eye. This is the Revlon Color Stay Skin Awaken 5-in-1 concealer in the shade Universal Brightening. I always forget if it's Universal Brightening or Universal Brightener, and I can't see very well with my contact lenses. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and prep my eyes and give this Morphe stack another chance to get it right. Ooh, I think I got too much. And I was shocked because this particular foundation that I'm wearing usually doesn't behave like that. It usually keeps things very dewy and moisturized, and it doesn't settle. But oh my gosh, after that short space of time when I looked in the mirror, I was like, dude, what's going on here? Well, now we know, don't we? Ugh, it's cringy. I recommend this right here for anyone 21 and under. Otherwise, no. I haven't changed my mind about it, but when I saw how dried out that area was, I was shocked. And I was like, welp, I'm gonna have to report this, right? So that's what happened. And I'm going to take the cheek color, and I'm going to, as I have many times, used cheek color for eyeshadow. So if it fails as an eyeshadow, I have to be able to be fair and say, well, it's blush, not eyeshadow. And perhaps it just doesn't work as well for an eyeshadow. Even though you can double up purposes for particular, products, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to perform, wonderfully, right? That is something else that I've learned. So whereas I have some products that I can use cheeks, lips, eyes, and they're fabulous and wonderful, and they just work together well on anything. Other ones, not so much. We shall see how this behaves as a shadow with the primer / concealer. Don't want there to be inconsistent lighting. That's another thing. Lighting. When you're making videos, you have to have good lighting. You don't want to cheat with lighting. So there's that fine line, although I will never use a filter when applying makeup, ever. I will never use a filter, and I will never lie about a product for money. If I ever have affiliations, if I have the ability to earn money because a makeup company wants me to share their product, I will not lie about it for money. I will not do it. See, now that I can really see the pigment there. Maybe I just need to be more aggressive with it. Again, I'm using this angled brush. I don't say that out of a sense of self-righteousness. I'm just saying I'm not the type of person, that's gross to me. To lie about a product and give the impression that you really love something for money when indeed you hate it. I just won't do that. I will not sell my integrity for $1. Now, here's the thing. Nothing wrong with earning a living on YouTube or trying to earn a living, which, by the way, at this moment, I'm not by any stretch of the imagination, but there's nothing wrong with it. Being dishonest and misrepresenting things, that's where there's a problem. Getting back to makeup, I'm going to be jumping around here and I'm so sorry about this. Getting back to makeup, I really should have used some color correction. Some days I can get away with just foundation under my eyes. Other days, not so much. How much sleep have I had? How tired am I? Am I having allergies? Am I stressed? Am I dehydrated? There's all kinds of factors. So the makeup might look super great one day, and then the next day, what happened here? It's just makeup. I love makeup, but it's just makeup. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with my lids. I'm trying to decide if I want to bring this to my lower lids as well and then add the shimmer, or I would just use the shimmer alone on my lid. What do I do? What should I do? Because I don't have a lot of options here because I'm only using basically this for eyeshadow. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to go ahead and apply this on my lower lid a little bit so that it's not straight concealer. This lip color, I said earlier that I like it and I do, but I need to reapply it. And it could be because, to be fair, when I initially applied it, I've been talking about this creamy little number here, and I used it straight on my lips, and then I applied the lip gloss over the top. Maybe that affected it. I don't know. Angie from Hot and Flashy, I have a lot of respect for her. She's a deep diver when it comes to skincare and especially foundation. I've noticed she really deep dives and tests things to death. And she's got really high standards. So she will take products and apply them under all kinds of different conditions and wear them for 10 to 12 hours and then get back and say, this is how this performed. And if she doesn't like it, she's very, very particular. I don't go that far. I don't know that I ever will. I like to use makeup and see how it looks, and later on if I see it's drying and whatever, I'll report it. But she's very, very good at testing makeup products under so many different conditions that you can really get a deep dive as to how it performed. But again, Angie's body chemistry isn't the same as mine or yours. The way she preps her skin, there's all different kinds of factors. Now I'm gonna go in with this glitter, which I'm dreading. And you know how when you've got a pan of product and it'll look like it's sort of dried up or something, it's got like this hardening to it. This one did that really early on, and I didn't really like that very much. And I also, if I remember correctly, that it had a lot of fallout. So I'm kind of scared of that right now. So I think I'm gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna go in, just be careful and just not use tons. It's quite sparkly. There are big chunks. I think it's all coming back to me now. There are very large chunks of glitter in this particular product, which I will avoid like the plague on my eyes because of the fallout. So I am not going to go crazy with this on my eyes. What's the matter, honey? What's wrong? Sad. Okay? You all right? It's okay. It's okay. I love you. Okay? My little doggie's just nervous right now. I don't know why. Anyway, huge chunks. Gotta be super careful. I can already see glitter on my nose. I can see it dropping down here. Okay, this is the reason. It's not uncommon for glitter shadows to have fallout. So, to be fair, it is not unusual. The amount of glitter is another story. So I can see it all over my face. I don't think that the camera is picking it up very well. It's no, I won't be using this again on my eyes for any reason. The last thing I'm going to do as far as my eyeshadow goes, I'm going to use this creamy, I'm really sorry about this light. I'm trying to keep this light consistent. I don't want what I'm doing to be inconsistent. Okay, so I'm going to take this creamy thing here, okay, place it under my brow. So here's the thing. This is pretty. The longevity and the performance, you know, I'm not happy with that. Aesthetically, it's great. Performance-wise, no. Personally, would not recommend this, but for you, it might be 2 thumbs up and you want to buy every one of your friends one for Christmas. And if that's the case, you should. It's the nice thing about makeup. You can do whatever the flip you want. My go-to eyeliner is oftentimes this e.l.f. bite-sized quad. This is the Love You Latte. This is a Zova brow line brush. No idea where it came from. Never heard of it, but it doesn't matter. I try not to get stuck in the trap of, you know, I've got to have the latest, the best, because it is, in my situation or my particular life circumstance, it is a egregious mishandling of my finances. Also, I have to be careful personally about thinking that, ooh, I really like this, but I might like this one better. And kind of getting into that trap of getting sucked into buying things that I don't need, that I think might make me feel better. Disclaimer. If you like to upgrade and buy the next thing, the better thing, the more expensive thing, you should. This is 100% subjective. I'm just talking in general about influencers and influences. Beauty influencers that have been out there a while, they get, you know, PR. So they get this beautiful stuff sent to them for free so they can try it out, test it, and share it, you know. And it's like, oh my gosh, I would go nuts if I went to my mailbox and there were like boxes and boxes and boxes of cosmetics that were being sent to me to test for the public at large. I would lose my mind. I mean, I love it. I am like a kid in a candy store. I will spend hours, literally like 2-3 hours at Ulta or Sephora looking at everything. It's like, oh, and then having to choose is torture. Because why? Because I'm a beauty junkie. I love makeup. I love skincare. I love it. I love it. It's fun. It's creative. It makes me feel good. I love it. So I would hope, I would think it would be amazing to be able to test all the latest and greatest, because you get your hands on it first, because companies send it to influencers to promote their products at the cost. The cost to them basically is sending product to the influencer, and then the influencer gives the free advertising. It's very much a win-win situation. And then of course there is the benefit of having a affiliate code. So like if somebody buys the product, then not only have they sold product for the company, but they earn commission, which is an amazing arrangement. Any kind of influencing that you can do on a platform like YouTube can be very beneficial to all parties. It's a wonderful tool to mutually benefit not only the brand, but the influencer, and then the public, because I have found things on the internet that I would not have thought to look at, on my own. It wouldn't have occurred to me to try some of the things that I found that I have really, really enjoyed. There is a huge upside to YouTube influencers and the benefit that has basically ripple effects. And I love it. What's the word? It's brilliant as long as it's honest. I'm going to whip some mascara on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my e.l.f. Lash and Roll. I'm just going to throw it on real quick. I'm thinking about how I'm going to end up editing this, because I've been all over the place and talking about so many different things that are important to me, like integrity over profit, integrity over the profitability of things. It's a big deal. Mascara, you rule. They should call this is a e.l.f. $6 mascara. It's really nice for you. I think they should call it e.l.f. Lash and Rule. Is there anything else I want to do here? I don't think so. I'm not going to do bronzer, keeping my products minimal. This lip, it feels like it's just drying up on me. All right. Okay, so I am going to stop here and then come back and give a report on how this is doing. And I can tell you already that the glitter is hideous, but I want to give the best, most fair review of this little number here and how my foundation is actually holding up. So we'll just see. And I'll just come back with a little narrative.
Well, we know what happened to the foundation. So let's talk about the eye and the cheek. So the eyeshadow actually held up decently, probably because I used the concealer for primer, which locks in just about everything. There is glitter on my face, which I expected, which was there anyway. My foundation, I can't even honestly comment on that because it was destroyed by using that horrible blush in key areas. So it's not even, well, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do another review of this foundation, next time. But in the meantime, the lip, I actually had to use some NYX Butter Gloss because my lips were so, they were just drying out. I just gave up on that. So the Morphe palette I used today is terrible. I don't recommend it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me talk about my personal feelings about the beauty industry and beauty influencers. And I will see you next time.